So, how to operate your enclosed drone cleaning trailer. First thing we want to do is once we've parked it, we open up our nice command port side window here. Go ahead and connect our water input reel. So we'll pull that off, connect it to the building. Water's going to come in through here, go through some inlet filtration over to a three-way valve. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we got our inlet filtration down here. We got a mesh filter and a sediment filter. That's going to clear any chunks and debris and filter the water before it hits this three-way valve. All water coming in here is going to go through that filtration. Then right now we're set up to fill our dirty water tanks. We'll go ahead and switch that down. That's going to now go through our first hydro panel and produce about 4.5 gallons a minute of purified water coming into this bottom one. And this has got double carbon filters. These are going to be good for about 120,000 gallons on these carbon filters. Run through the pumps. Once we got water flowing, we have our waste lines routed out the back. So, how to operate the hydro panel, and they're both the same, is we've got water coming in. Before we ever turn the pump on, we want to make sure we have water going through it. So the first thing we're going to do, connect it all up, get water going through. Once water's going through, we can then turn the pump on, so we'll connect to 110. Now we have that sweet 110 power setup, so you can connect one hydro panel straight to our extension bar here for all of our 110 ports. That's coming into the shore power on the trailer. Turn the pump on. This is a GFCI switch, so if you ever get any water going around in here, you got protection right there. That's going to turn that booster pump on. Once the booster pump is on, you're going to have your auto flush system kick in. It's going to flush for you. You can go ahead and close your waste valve. So it's going to be in the open position, it's going to be waste water. It's going to be flushing. Close that to turn it into production mode. Pressurize the system, start purifying water. Water is going to go through the dual ROs and into this DI tank. It's going to go through the DI and give you that 0 parts per million over into your tank, your storage tanks. Operating your second one is identical operation. You want to make sure water is going through it. You've got your power here. You've got your waste valve in the same exact spot. Waste line, the waste hose is going out the back as well to the same spot. Everything's the same. The one difference is you've got a separate input connection, and that's allowing you to run a second hose. Now, most buildings aren't going to have enough water to power both of these directly, especially when you're going through a few hundred feet of hose, a manifold, a reel, all that. Even if you were to bypass the reel, you're not likely to have 11 gallons a minute at every building you ever go to, which is why we design it such a way to have two systems so you can still produce 4.5 if you've at a job site that's got poor water coming out of the building. So connect up a spare hose to here, and then operating is the same. You want to have water going through it, turn on your pump, go ahead and close your waste valve to turn on water production. Now once your hydro panel 1 or both hydro panels are operating, running water through the DI, you don't have to worry about it for the rest of your job. On shutdown, when you're done at the end of the day and you want to stop purifying water, you're going to come to both of these. You're going to open up whatever valve, whatever hydro panel you want to start flushing. If you're running both, you want to open up both. You want to wait about 1 to 2 minutes to flush at the end of the day to maintain those membranes. Once you flush for about a minute or two, you can go ahead and turn off your pump on both, one or both of them, and then you can turn off all your water coming in. Throughout the day, though, you don't have to worry about flushing. The auto flush is going to take care of that. It's going to flush every 30 minutes for you. And we've got TDS meters. So we've got 2 TDS meters on here. We've got down here, we've got setting number 1 is going to show you your RO outputs for the first. Now, we aren't running right now, so I'm not certain what it said. It's saying line number 2 or option 2 is going to show you the TDS of hydro panel 2, the RO. And the third one is going to show you your DI output for the tank. So that's after one or both hydro panels and after the DI tank. And that's going to tell you what your TDS is going into the tank specifically. The reason why you want to see the ROs here and here is just to get a quick check on the health of the membranes. Say you've been running this for a few years, you want to see what they're performing. You want to make sure they're still performing well so you're not burning through excess resin. You can see the RO output for both hydro panels. Nice, quick, and easy. We got another one up here, and this is for your water-fed pole. So this is a DI on this one, and that's going to be the DI for your dedicated water-fed pole system. So that's going to be pulling from your pure water tank running through a final DI just to make sure you're at zero and not showing your TDS going out to the water-fed pole through that 3/8 water-fed pole delivery line. So that's how to operate both your hydro panels and how to fill up the tank and stop producing pure water at the end of the day. Now let's go talk about spraying some pure water out to the building. All right, so for spraying pure water or water in general, you've got two options. You've got your high pressure line and you've got your low pressure soft wash line. So right now I've got the remote for the high pressure system. That's going to be this 3/8 high pressure line right here. That is going to run at a 10.5 gallon a minute, 3,000 PSI pressure washer, and whatever tip you've got on your drone is going to control what the pressure is spraying at on the glass. Right now we're in pure water mode. If I hit this valve, we're switching to dirty water. So we already saw that three-way valve on how to switch between filling dirty water tanks and to start purifying water into the pure water tanks. Here's how you can switch the high pressure line between dirty water and pure water. Now when you first start up the rig, if you use your master on-off switch, it's going to default to dirty water. So when you spray or when you start cleaning with the drone and you want to spray pure water, just make sure you switch that over to the green light right there. For your soft wash line, we've got the right three lines are your typical soft wash valves. You've got water, bleach, and soap. And then your far left one is pure water. So right now we're kind of configured in a typical probably roof mix setup for soft washing. So we got dirty water. We got about probably a 3% setup on the bleach and a little bit of soap. To actually spray the bleach and soap, we're going to want to use our remote here. 3 is going to control our chem soap line or our chem bleach line, and 4 is going to control our soap line. So in order to actually spray either bleach and soap, you have to have these lights on and these valves open. When you turn off the chem or the bleach line, it's actually going to rinse out and pull dirty water and rinse out your check valve and your metering valve and all that of bleach so you don't have any bleach sitting in there. And the reason why you have to have manual control for the pure on this is because of that dirty water rinse mode. So to switch this over to pure water, you've got to turn off these lights. And now you can use soap and pure water as well. But you want to close your water line and your bleach line so you don't get any of that rinse water coming in, contaminating, and then open up your pure water line. So that's pure water. Now we're set up to be pure water with a little bit of soap depending on the light. So right now we got pure water and soap coming out, and we'll go ahead and turn off that soap. Now we just got pure water going through the soft wash line. So that's how to set yourself up for your pure water through the soft wash pump. To go back to just regular soft wash, we'll just go ahead and switch that up. And now we're set up back to a typical soft wash setup with regular old dirty water. Fire up our engines. We have full key control like normal. So everything's obviously electric start. You can do your fuel valve and your choke as needed. And you can turn it on and off with the key right here. We also have full remote control. One is going to turn the engine on. 2 is going to turn the engine off. And you do have to have that key at least in the on position for it to turn over. So you have a master kill. If you turn off that key or pull it, the engine will turn off and you can't turn it back on with the remote. Same thing with the big pressure washer down here. You've got your key right here and your choke and your throttle. So go ahead and set that. Pull the choke if you need to, turn it on. And once you've been running it, you can easily turn on and off the remote if you want to take a quick break, you want to land the drone, change your batteries out. You can kill the engine, save your gas, save wear and tear, and then get your drone flying back up again, turn the engine right back on, and start cleaning again. So start stop on both systems, both remotes, full valve control, all that with our Skid Nexus system on here. So for shutting down the high pressure or the soft wash lines, it's pretty easy. The main thing you want to do is make sure you've got relieved any pressure so you don't have any trapped pressure going into a closed valve or gun. So if you got the drone connected, go ahead and just open up that valve to release the pressure. Go ahead and hit your kill switch. Best case is to lower the throttle. If you've got a gun, just pull the trigger and hit that kill switch as well. And pretty much the only things you have to be worried about when you're shutting down either of those engines. So how to operate the water-fed pole. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you got pure water in the pure water tank. So you're going to have to fire up a hydro panel Or if you have leftover pure water, you've got 200 gallons of water that you can bring to the job site if you've just got a water-fed pull job. You don't necessarily have to connect up for water. This is going to pull water from your pure water tank, so it's already probably pulling 0 TDS or 0 parts per million out of that tank, but it is going to go through one small DI polishing just to make sure that water in the tank didn't creep up to 1 or 2 and you didn't know about it. It's going to give you that peace of mind that it's going to polish it on the way out of the tank and out of your hose reel. This is a pump controller, so you can control how much volume is coming out. So most of the time you're going to run about 30 for a single pull. You can run it at about 60 if you want to run 2 pulls, or 75. But it's a 90 psi, 5 gallon a minute pump. So what you can do is you can get 3 gallons a minute out of this after the 300 feet of 3/8 hose here, and run 2 to 3 operators from here on a big, large scale window cleaning job with this system. This system comes with a full remote that allows you to turn on and off the pump, up and down the flow from afar as well. So we got full remotes on everything on here. So to turn on your water-fed pull, hit the power button, make sure your settings correct, or hit the button on your remote. To turn it off, it's simple. Just come back, hit that power button one more time. The LED screen will turn off, and you know you've turned off your pump. Okay. So how does all of this get power to electricity? What you want is we've got 110 shore power right here, so you just plug this into any socket. We've got a male plug there. You just take an extension cord, plug it in. That's going to bring 110 power in. On the inside over here, we've got our power on the other side here. We've got a GFCI outlet there, so you can plug something in down there. That's going up and into our battery charger. We've got a 10 amp trickle charger on there for powering overnight. So when you pull it back to your shop or your house, just plug an extension cord in the outside. It's going to keep your battery charged. We got a high amp hour marine battery in here. All of our electrical in there with a master breaker and a master on-off switch on the outside. So this is going to turn everything off like that. Once you've switched that off and everything shuts down, all of your remotes and valves are going to switch back to a default setting. We've given you a dedicated circuit breaker system for about all of the components that are in this trailer, giving you safety protection against any shorts or anything like that, but also it's resettable. So if anything does go wrong, you just quickly flip that back around. So we got a master one that's going to disconnect if you've got a big issue overall. We've got another one for our remote systems, for our lights, for our battery electric starts. We've got one for our 12-volt pump and all of our reels. So all of our devices are behind those breakers. And if anything goes wrong, you just flip that breaker would be down. You just flip it right back on, and you're back and running. You don't have to worry about carrying fuses. Where did I put the fuses? Do I have the right size fuse? Figuring out which in the line, you're going to know right away which one it is based off those levers, and it's just resettable, ready to go in case something might ever go wrong.